students. Myself Miss Rachna Jain, Associate Professor, Department of English, Government PG College, Rajgarh, Alwar. Today, in this my third video lecture on the poem A Prayer for My Daughter, I am going to explain you the poem in detail. This poem is mentioned in the syllabus of BA Part 3rd English Literature, Paper 1st, Unit A. The topics of my today's video lecture are the reference and context of the lines and the explanation. First of all, I read the lines of the poem for you. Once more the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlid, my child sleeps on. There is no obstacle but Gregory Wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and roof levelling wind, bred on the Atlantic, can be stayed. And for an hour I have walked and prayed because of the great gloom that is in my mind. First of all, I tell you the meaning of the hard word used in these lines. Storm. The synonym of a storm is tempest. Howling means blowing hard. Half hid means half concealed. Bare means naked. Haystack means bundle of hay or grass. Roof leveling wind means the wind which levels even the roof. Bred on Atlantic means originating or starting from Atlantic. Gloom means misery or sorrow or sadness. Now, first of all, I tell you the reference and context of these 8 lines. These lines have been taken from W.B. Yeats' poem A Prayer for My Daughter. In these lines, the poet describes the stormy atmosphere surrounding the sleepy child, infant child, Annie Butler Yeats, the daughter of the poet. In these lines, the poet expresses his concern for his daughter who is fast asleep in a cradle. The storm is blowing hard outside his house, so much so that the poet calls it a haystack and roof leveling wind. It blows directly from the Atlantic Ocean. It is obstructed or hindered by the naked hill and the woods only. The infant child does feel the onslaught of the rising storm. The child is sleeping undisturbed and is quite unaware of the wind. But the poet's mind is in a disturbed state of his mind. He is walking up and down the room. He is very gloomy and sad. There is a storm raging within the poet's soul. The poet's mind is full of fears for the future of humanity. So in these lines, the poet draws a contrast between the quiet and sleepy child and the disturbed state of the poet's mind. The outer storm is echoed inside the mind of the poet. So in short, a terrible violent storm is raging outside. This haystack and roof leveling wind blowing directly from the Atlantic is obstructed by just one naked hill and the woods of Gregory Estate, while his infant daughter sleeps in her cradle, well covered and well protected from the outside violent storm raging outside. The poet has kept pacing up and down in the room and praying for his daughter because there is a storm raging within his soul as well. His mind is full of foreboding for the future of humanity. These are the lines of the second stanza. The poem contains 10 stanzas and this is second stanza of 8 lines. First of all, I read the poem. I have walked and prayed for this young child an hour, and heard the sea wind scream upon the tower, and under the arches of the bridge, and scream in the elms above the flooded stream, imagining in excited reverie that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. Now, I give you the synonym of the hard word used in these lines. Sea wind. Sea wind means sea storm. Scream. Scream means cry. Powerfully blow. Flooded. Overflowing. Stream is small river or brook. Reverie means daydreams. Frenzied means excited or agitated. Murderous means capable of murder. These lines have been taken from the poem A Prayer for My Daughter, composed by W.B. Yeats. In these lines, the poet prays for his daughter's happiness because he is quite apprehensive about future. Explanation. The poet has been praying for the welfare of his daughter for an hour. He is disturbed when he hears the shrill sound of the sea wind. The wind and the storm are blowing over the tower, under the arches of the bridge and the elm trees. The poet is apprehensive that the future is likely to be stormy. He imagines that the future years have come out of the sea, dancing to the frenzied beat of a drum. So, in short, the shrill sound of the sea wind upon the tower and below the arches of the bridge, which connects the castle with the main road, and in the elm trees above the flooded river, is heard by the poet. He has been praying for his daughter for an hour, and he is disturbed by the shrill sound of the sea wind. His mind is haunted with fear. In the excitement and fear, he imagines that the future years have come out of the sea, which is murderous, and innocence. The sea is called murderous because it can kill anyone, but it is also called innocence because it does so unintentionally. And dancing to the frenzied beat of the drum, the shrill noise of the sea wind. So, like an affectionate father, the poet prays for his daughter. The poem A Prayer for My Daughter was written in 1919 and appeared in the volume entitled Michael Robberies and the Dancer in 1921. The war was over, but the poem reflects the post-war frustration of W.B. Yeats. This frustration was also expressed in another poem, 1919, in which he compares human beings to weasels fighting in a hole. So, in this video lecture, I have explained you the two stanzas of the poem A Prayer for My Daughter. In the next video lecture, I will explain you the remaining part of the poem. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.